I never thought my own brother would ruin every relationship I had, but he did, and he never once said sorry. It started when I was 19. I was dating Emily, my first serious girlfriend. She met my brother Jake at a family dinner. He was older, confident, always joking, the kind of guy everyone liked instantly. Emily laughed at everything he said. At first, I was glad they got along. A few days later, she started acting strange. She took longer to reply, made excuses not to meet, and avoided eye contact when we did. Then she told me Jake said I'd been texting another girl behind her back. I was speechless. I confronted Jake that same night. He smiled and said, "Relax, bro." It was a joke. She took it too seriously, but it wasn't a joke. She broke up with me the next day. At first, I blamed myself for introducing them, but a pattern started forming. The next girl I dated was Sophie. Jake met her once at my birthday party. He made her laugh, bought her a drink, and said, "You're perfect for him. Don't hurt him." She smiled, said he was nice. A few days later, she started asking questions, specific questions, ones I never told her the answers to. Then she said she'd seen screenshots of me flirting online. I'd never done that. When I asked who sent them, she refused to answer. I knew it was Jake. When I asked him about it, he shrugged. "Bro, if she leaves that fast, she wasn't real." He said it like he was teaching me something, but I could tell he enjoyed watching it fall apart. It kept happening. Every time I dated someone, Jake found a way to ruin it. He'd find them online, message them, say weird things, twist stories. Then he'd show up when everything fell apart, pretending to comfort me. He'd say, "You're better off, man." Girls like that never last. After 3 relationships, I stopped introducing him to anyone, but that didn't stop him. He'd scroll through my social media and find them himself. He always found them. Then I met Claire. She was kind, calm, and didn't like drama. I didn't post her, didn't tell Jake her name, nothing. For a few weeks, things were perfect. Until he came over one day and noticed her picture on my fridge. He stared at it and smiled. "Finally, someone normal," he said. Something about how he said it felt wrong. A week later, Claire got a message from a fake account. No profile picture, no name. It said, "He's lying to you. Ask him who Sarah is." There was no Sarah, but the way it was written sounded exactly like Jake. Same short lines, same punctuation, same fake concern. I didn't tell her what I suspected. Instead, I tested him. I called Jake and told him Claire and I were planning to move in together. He paused for a second, then said, "Wow, that's fast. You sure she's the one?" I said yes. He congratulated me, but his voice sounded forced. That same night, Claire got another message from the same fake account. It said, "He's lying again. He's still seeing his ex. I didn't even have an ex nearby. It was all him." I blocked every fake account. The next morning, another one appeared. Same writing style, same fake tone. It was obvious Jake was behind it. That was the moment I stopped doubting. Jake wasn't jealous. He was competing. He didn't want me to be happy. He wanted control. He wanted to prove he could take anything from me if he wanted to. I ignored him for a week. He acted like nothing happened. Then he showed up at my door one morning with coffee. He smiled like we were best friends. "Morning, man." "Heard Claire's moving in." "Brave move," he said. I didn't answer. He looked at me, still smiling, and added, "Don't screw it up this time." That's when I realized he didn't plan to stop, not until I made him. After that morning, I decided I was done letting Jake mess with me. I stopped answering his texts. I blocked him on social media. For a few weeks, it was quiet. Claire and I were good again. No fake messages, no drama. But peace never lasted long with Jake. One night, while scrolling through my phone, I noticed a new account following Claire. No name, no posts. The profile picture was a gray circle. It followed only 3 people, me, Claire, and Jake. I knew it was him, so I came up with a plan. If he wanted to play games, I'd make him believe he was winning. The next day, I called him and pretended everything was fine. I said Claire and I had been arguing a lot lately. He didn't even try to hide his satisfaction. He said, "You rush things too much. Maybe she's not who you think she is." I could almost hear him smiling through the phone. That night, Claire got another message from that fake account. It said, "He's talking about you behind your back." I finally had what I needed, timing that matched perfectly with when I spoke to Jake. The next day, I told a friend Daniel about everything. He'd known both of us for years. At first, he didn't believe me. Then he offered to help. We decided to set a trap. We created a new Instagram account using photos of a random girl. The name looked real. I told Jake I met someone new at the gym and that Claire didn't know yet. He laughed and said, "You move fast, man." That night, our fake account got a message from him. He said, "He'll use you and leave you like the others." There it was. Proof. I wanted to explode, but Daniel said to wait. "Let him hang himself," he told me. So I did. For a week, we kept talking to Jake through the fake profile. He said everything I expected, that I was a liar, a cheater, a manipulator. He even said he could help her if she wanted someone real. It was disgusting. Meanwhile, I acted normal around him. He had no idea. He'd text me random things like, "How's Claire doing?" or "Still together?" I answered short. He probably thought I was hiding something. Then one night I invited him over for dinner. Claire cooked. We acted happy, casual, like nothing was wrong. Jake was confident, maybe too confident. He talked to her like I wasn't even there. At one point he said, "If he ever messes up, you know who to call." He laughed. Claire forced a smile. I wanted to punch him. After dinner, I told Claire to check her messages. Right there at the table, she opened her phone. A new message had arrived from the fake account. It said, "You look beautiful tonight." He doesn't deserve you. Jake froze. He didn't expect that. He realized too late that the trap was set. I turned my phone toward him and showed him screenshots, all the messages, his words, everything. He tried to laugh it off, said it was a prank, said I was overreacting. But when I mentioned the fake profile he created to follow us, his face changed. He stopped smiling. He looked at me and said, "You think you're better than me, huh?" I said nothing. He stood up, breathing hard. Then he said, "Every girl you bring home looks at me first. You just don't see it." The room went silent. Claire looked terrified. He turned to her and said, "Tell him. Tell him you noticed." She didn't move. I told him to leave. He grabbed his jacket and said, "You think this is over?" "It's not." Then he left. For days after that, he didn't call or text. I thought maybe it was done. But then weird things started happening. Claire got calls from random numbers, always at night. When she answered, no one spoke. Once she heard breathing on the other end. I changed her number. It didn't stop. I checked our Wi-Fi one day and saw a new device connected. Jake's laptop name. He'd somehow hacked in. He was watching us, tracking what we did online. I confronted him again. He said, "You took everything from me. I'm just taking it back." Then he hung up. I didn't sleep that night. Every sound in the house made me tense. I kept thinking about what he said. I'm taking it back. Taking what back? A few days later, I came home from work and found Claire crying. Her phone was on the table, open to a message. It was a photo, a picture of her through our living room window, taken from outside. The caption said, "Told you he'd hurt you." That was when I realized Jake wasn't jealous anymore. He was obsessed. And it wasn't about relationships anymore. It was about control. After that photo, I knew things were getting serious. Claire was scared. She wanted to call the police, but I told her to wait. I wanted proof first. I needed something they couldn't ignore. I installed cameras around the house, one at the door, one near the living room window, one in the driveway. For 3 days, nothing happened. Then, on the fourth night, around 2 a.m., one camera caught movement. A man standing near the trees. He stayed there for almost 10 minutes, barely moving. Then he walked closer. Even through the grainy night vision, I knew who it was. Jake. He was holding his phone up, recording. Then he left. No message that night, no call, nothing. He didn't need to. He wanted me to know he was watching. I went to his place the next morning. He acted normal, like always. Asked me if Claire was okay. I told him to stop this. He laughed and said, "Stop what?" "You're paranoid," I told him I had him on camera. His smile dropped for a second, then came back. He said, "Delete it." "I was checking on you." I realized then there was something seriously wrong with him. He wasn't just jealous or angry. He'd crossed into something else, something darker. That week, Claire stayed with her parents. I needed to figure out what to do. I went through my phone, my laptop, everything. He'd been logging into my accounts for months. Every email, every password, every message. He knew everything about my life. I called Daniel again. He said, "You need to go to the police." I told him I would, but first I wanted Jake to admit it. I wanted him to face me and say it himself. So I called him and told him I wanted to talk. He agreed instantly. He said, "Good. I've been waiting." We met at a small cafe near our old neighborhood. He was already there, sitting by the window. When I sat down, he smiled like always. "You look tired," he said. I told him I was done with his games. He didn't argue. He just looked at me and said, "You never understood, did you?" I asked what he meant. He leaned closer. "Every time you brought someone home, they looked at me like I was the one they wanted. Not you. Me." His tone was calm, but his eyes were empty. "You took the attention I deserved," he said. "You don't deserve any of them." I told him to get help. He smirked and said, "Help won't fix what you ruined." Then he stood up and left. No yelling, no scene, nothing. Just walked out like it was another normal day. That night, I came home to find the front door unlocked. Nothing was missing, but everything felt wrong. The couch was moved slightly. The bedroom window was half open. And in the kitchen, on the counter, was a photo. It was one of Claire and me, printed on glossy paper. On the back, Jake had written, "You can't protect her." I called the police that night. They said they couldn't do much without proof of a threat. I showed them the camera footage, but it wasn't enough. He hadn't broken in, hadn't hurt anyone. They told me to install better locks and call again if it escalated. 2 nights later, it did. I woke up at 3 a.m. to a noise outside, a faint tapping sound on the window. I grabbed a flashlight and looked. Nothing. Then I checked the camera feed. Jake was standing at the edge of the driveway again, holding something in his hand. A phone. He was recording the house. I called the police again. By the time they arrived, he was gone. They searched the area but found nothing. One of the officers said, "He's trying to scare you. Don't react." But it wasn't fear anymore. It was anger. The next day, I went to my parents' house to tell them everything. They were shocked. My mom refused to believe it. "He wouldn't do that," she said. My dad looked tired. He said quietly, "He's been like this since you were kids. You always had what he wanted." That night, I changed every password, added alarms, and locked every door, but I couldn't relax. Every sound felt wrong. Every shadow looked like him. At 2:47 a.m., my phone buzzed. A new message. No number, no name. It said, "You're right. I can't protect her." Then another photo. Claire's car parked outside her parents' house, taken that same night. I called her immediately. She was fine, but terrified. We agreed she'd stay with a friend for a while. The next morning, I drove to Jake's place. His car was gone. The door was unlocked. Inside, the place was a mess. Papers, empty bottles, and dozens of photos. Some of me, some of Claire, some of us together, all printed and stacked in piles. In the middle of the table was his phone. It was unlocked. I scrolled through his messages. Most were to himself, drafts, unsent notes, random phrases like, "She'll see it one day," and "He doesn't deserve her." Then I found one that made my skin crawl. It said, "Tomorrow he'll learn how it feels to lose everything." That was the last message he ever wrote. After everything he did, I decided to end it. No more waiting, no more hiding. Jake wanted control. He wanted fear. He wasn't getting either anymore. I told Claire to stay at her parents' house. I said I'd handle it. She didn't like it, but she knew it had to end. I took my phone, the camera footage, and drove straight to Jake's apartment. The drive felt longer than usual. My hands were shaking, but I wasn't scared. I was done. When I got there, the lights inside were on. I knocked. No answer. I knocked again. Still nothing. I shouted, "Open the door, Jake." He finally did. He looked tired, pale, unshaven, but he still smiled. He always smiled. He said, "You look angry, little brother." I said, "I'm done being your little brother." I walked in. The place was the same. Photos everywhere, bottles on the table, papers all over the floor. It smelled like dust and old coffee. He didn't even try to hide what he'd done. I said, "It's over." "I have proof," he shrugged. "Proof of what?" "That you made me this way?" I pulled out my phone and opened a video, the one where he stood outside my house, holding the photo, staring at the camera. I let it play. His smile faded. He looked nervous for the first time. I said, "Police have this too." "They're coming." He stepped forward, angry now. "You think they'll care?" "They never cared about me." He kept talking, louder, faster, ranting about how I always got everything. Friends, attention, love. He said he just wanted people to see me the way he saw me. I didn't interrupt. I just kept recording. Then I said, "You're done, Jake. You don't control me anymore." He shouted, "You think you're better than me? You're nothing without me." He grabbed my shirt. I didn't move. I said, "Then let everyone see what nothing does to you." He froze. The camera was still recording. I took a step back, phone still up, steady. He let go. He knew. He finally realized he'd lost. I called the police right there in front of him. They told me to stay inside until they arrived. Jake didn't run. He just sat down on the couch, silent. When the officers came, he didn't resist. He stood up slowly and said, "You win." Then he looked at me and whispered, "But one day you'll understand why I did it." They took him away. No yelling, no fight, just gone. After that, things finally went quiet. The police charged him with harassment, stalking, and trespassing. He was ordered to get treatment. He didn't go to jail, but he wasn't free either. He had to move out of town, stay away from us. For weeks, I waited for another message, another call. Nothing came. No more fake accounts, no photos, no shadows outside the house. For the first time in years, silence meant peace. Claire came home. She cried when she walked through the door. We fixed what we could. New locks, new cameras, new life. At first, we still looked over our shoulders. Every noise made us tense. But slowly, that went away. The fear faded. The house felt like ours again. 3 months later, I got a letter in the mail. It was from Jake. I almost threw it away, but I opened it. It said, "I'm sorry. I know I broke something I can't fix. I don't expect forgiveness. I just hope you can live without looking over your shoulder. I'm trying to do the same." That was the first time his words sounded real. Not manipulative, not fake, real. I didn't reply, but I kept the letter. Not as a reminder of him, but as proof that I made it out. Months passed. Claire and I got married quietly. Small ceremony, no drama, no family tension. My parents were there. Jake wasn't invited, but he sent a message through them. "Tell him I'm proud of him." I didn't know how to feel about that, but I didn't hate him anymore. I just wanted peace. A year later, we moved to a new city. No cameras, no passwords, no fake accounts. We stopped checking behind us. Life went back to normal. Sometimes I still get that feeling late at night, like someone's watching. But then I remember how it ended. I remember his face when he realized he lost control, and I tell myself the same thing every time. He doesn't win anymore. Now, when I wake up in the morning and see Claire next to me, smiling, calm, safe, I know it's over, for good. Because this time I didn't just survive him, I beat him.